I lived alone in a remote location in Montana. We didn't have cable, so the only option was satellite TV. It was a humid summer night in July, and the TV was acting up, so as usual, I needed to go out and readjust the satellite. I took a flashlight and a gun with me. When I went outside, it was usually quiet. But this time it was a little different. It was quiet, yes, but more quiet than usual, like so silent it was unnerving. I brushed the thought off and went to the dish, which was in the corner of my yard. I went to work, making sure all the wires were all right and pointing it to a different angle. Suddenly I heard a small snap of a stick to my left and turned the flashlight to the direction, and I saw a creature standing there. I got a good look at it for what seemed like an eternity, but it was only about 10 seconds. I slowly backed off and ran back to the house and locked all the doors and windows. The creature was unlike anything I've ever seen before. When I shined the light at it, the first thing I saw was the head. It had cropped ears that pointed upwards. Its snout was narrower than a bear's, and longer, and I could make out large teeth protruding from the jaw. Its eyes were a deep red shade that seemed to reflect off the light I was pointing at it. The body was muscular and huge. It had long arms that appeared to be longer than its legs, broad shoulders that tapered into a skinnier waist. It was slightly crouched over when I saw it, with one hand wrapped around a small tree. I could make out the legs, which looked similar to a dog's legs. It had obvious hocks. Even with the crouched position, it was about my height, which is 6 feet. Standing up to full height, this creature could easily be 7.5 feet tall. The fur was black and thicker around the neck and chest, and the bottom half significantly less so. I didn't know if it was aggressive or not, but that hardly seemed the point at the time. What I know is I had a feeling of dread unlike anything I've ever experienced. Was it just observing me or stalking me? For a creature this large, it was deceivingly silent. It got within 15 yards of me without me noticing. All I knew was I needed to get the hell out of there and not find out. I don't live on the property anymore, but after the event, I never had another face-to-face encounter. But I would hear sounds in the woods I couldn't explain. They would start off relatively quiet and work their way up to a furious howl or scream, then back down to quiet again. It terrifies me to know that these things are out there lurking in the woods and forested areas. I know that there's lots of people who either aren't sure or maybe even doubt if these creatures are real. They are. I don't know how, and I damn sure don't know why. So the next time you're out in any wilderness area, hunting, camping, fishing, hiking, or whatever, remember what I've told you. Remember, and be careful.